March 2019, a car appeared at the Geneva Motor Show that would vanish almost as quickly as it arrived. No test drives, no performance figures, no public buyer. Just a shape, sculpted in black carbon, standing under spotlights like an artifact from another century. Within hours, it was gone. This is the story of Bugatti La Voiture Noire, a $28 million automobile that exists more in rumor than in reality. A car so expensive, so private, and so deliberately invisible that it has become something rarer than any hypercar on Earth. It has become a ghost, not because it doesn't exist, but because it was never meant to be seen. This is not a car built to dominate racetracks. It will never set lap records. It will never be photographed idling outside nightclubs or posted on social media. La Voiture Noire represents something far more profound, a return to an older form of luxury. One that whispers instead of shouts, one that defines power not through presence but through absence. Some objects are designed to be admired. This one was designed to disappear. To understand La Voiture Noire, you must first understand what was lost. In 1936, Jean Bugatti, son of founder Ettore Bugatti, created one of the most beautiful automobiles ever conceived, the Type 57 SC Atlantic. Only 4 were made. Hand-formed aluminum bodies, riveted spines running down the center, flowing organic curves that seemed to move even while standing still. One of those 4 cars belonged to Jean Bugatti himself. It was finished in black. And sometime before the Second World War, it vanished. No records, no photographs of its final location, no confirmed sightings. To this day, it has never been found. That car, Jean's personal Atlantic, became legend. Automotive historians have searched for it across Europe. Collectors have offered fortunes for any credible lead. But the car remains missing, lost somewhere in the chaos of wartime France. In 2019, on the 110th anniversary of Bugatti's founding, the company chose to honor that absence. Not by replicating the Atlantic, that would be sacrilege, but by creating a modern successor. A car that carried the same philosophy, singular beauty, absolute rarity, and a name that translated simply to the black car. La Voiture Noire was never meant to replace what was lost. It was meant to remember it. Look at La Voiture Noire, and the first thing you notice is what isn't there. No wings, no vents, no aggressive angles shouting for attention. Just one continuous surface, hand-formed in exposed carbon fiber, finished in a black so deep it seems to absorb light rather than reflect it. This is restraint as a design language, where modern hypercars announce themselves with aerodynamic aggression. Splitters, diffusers, active aero. La Voiture Noire does the opposite. Every line flows into the next. The front end tapers like the prow of a yacht. The rear fades into shadow. 6 tailpipes barely visible beneath the bodywork. The headlights are narrow, cold, almost reptilian. The side profile is unbroken. No visible door handles, no character lines, no distractions. The windows are frameless, giving the impression that the glass simply emerges from carbon. This is not minimalism in the modern sense. It's something older, something closer to sculpture than to automotive design. Jean Bugatti once said that an automobile should be a moving work of art. La Voiture Noire takes that philosophy to its logical extreme. It doesn't need to prove anything. It doesn't need to be loud or aggressive or track-focused. It simply needs to exist, and in doing so, redefine what automotive luxury can be. Invisibility, as it turns out, is the ultimate form of presence. Beneath the surface, La Voiture Noire is built on the architecture of the Bugatti Chiron. That means an 8.0-liter quad-turbocharged W16 engine, 16 cylinders, 4 turbochargers, roughly 1,500 horsepower channeled through all 4 wheels. But the numbers are almost irrelevant, because La Voiture Noire was never designed to chase performance records. Bugatti already had the Chiron Supersport for that. This car was built for something else entirely: refinement over aggression, presence over speed. The suspension is recalibrated for grand touring, not circuit lapping. The exhaust note is subdued, almost orchestral. The interior, though rarely photographed, is rumored to be minimalist, appointed in leather and machined aluminum, with none of the digital excess found in modern hypercars. This is engineering as restraint, power that exists not to be unleashed, but to be felt beneath the surface, a car that could shatter speed records but chooses not to. Because speed, in the context of La Voiture Noire, would miss the point entirely. $28 million, before taxes. The most expensive new car ever sold. But that price was never about the cost of materials or the hours of labor or even the engineering. It was about something far more strategic. La Voiture Noire is what the luxury industry calls a halo product, an object so extreme, so unattainable, that it elevates everything else the brand creates. Bugatti didn't need to sell hundreds of these cars. They didn't even need to sell 10, they needed to sell 1. Because that single car and the mythology surrounding it reshapes how the world perceives Bugatti. It positions the brand not just as a hypercar manufacturer, but as a creator of automotive haute couture, one-off commissions, bespoke masterpieces, objects that exist in the same cultural space as rare art or historical artifacts. The $28 million price tag was never meant to be justified. It was meant to be unquestionable. And in doing so, Bugatti accomplished something remarkable. They turned scarcity itself into an asset, not the scarcity of production numbers. Plenty of brands make limited runs. But the scarcity of visibility, the scarcity of knowledge, the scarcity of certainty. Because when something is this rare, this private, this deliberately hidden, people pay attention. To this day, the identity of La Voiture Noire's owner has never been officially confirmed. There have been rumors, speculation, names whispered in collector circles, but no verification, no public statement, no photographs of the car being delivered. And that in itself tells you everything. Because at the highest levels of wealth, visibility is no longer aspirational, it's a liability. The truly wealthy, the individuals who operate in circles most of us will never glimpse, don't seek attention, they avoid it. They understand that discretion is not just a preference, it's a form of security, a form of control. Owning La Voiture Noire is not about being seen in it, it's about knowing you own it. About possessing something that exists in only one form, that will never be replicated, that represents the absolute pinnacle of automotive exclusivity. It's the opposite of social media hypercars, the opposite of influencer culture, the opposite of cars designed to be photographed and posted and validated by strangers. La Voiture Noire is a car for someone who doesn't need validation. And that anonymity, that refusal to reveal, to confirm, to be known, becomes part of the car's legend. Because in a world where everything is documented, shared, and instantly accessible, true luxury is what cannot be Googled. Since its debut in Geneva, La Voiture Noire has been photographed fewer times than almost any hypercar in history. No magazine covers, no YouTube walkarounds, no owner reviews or public sightings, and yet it dominates conversations. Automotive journalists reference it as the benchmark for bespoke luxury. Collectors discuss it in reverent tones. Even people who will never own a hypercar know its name. La Voiture Noire has achieved something paradoxical. It has become culturally omnipresent while remaining physically invisible. This represents a fundamental shift in how ultra-luxury functions. For decades, hypercars were about spectacle, bright colors, aggressive designs, events and launches and media tours. The goal was to be seen, to be admired, to generate envy. But La Voiture Noire rejects that model entirely. It exists in the imagination more than in reality. It lives in rumor, in absence, in the gaps between what is known and what is guessed. And in doing so, it has become something more powerful than any car that races or roars or demands attention. It has become myth. La Voiture Noire was never meant to be chased. It was never meant to be raced or reviewed or ranked against other hypercars. It was never meant to be understood by everyone. It exists as a statement, not about speed or power or engineering prowess, but about what luxury means in an age of overexposure. In a world where everything is documented, shared, and instantly accessible, the rarest commodity is not performance, it's privacy. Bugatti created La Voiture Noire not to be the fastest car in the world, not to dominate racetracks or break records. They created it to disappear, to exist in the spaces between visibility and memory, to be known without being seen, to define luxury not through presence but through absence. Some cars roar, some cars race, some cars demand to be noticed. La Voiture Noire whispers, and the world listens.